Hi kings and queens, welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for all the subscriptions and all the love that has been shown to my channel thus far. If you are new here, my name's Miriam. I like to be called Mimi or Mrs. N. And I hope that you have an amazing journey with me as I let you in. So I have really been trying to think and consider where to start from, even as I lay out a foundation for my channel. And I thought to start with where I am right now. So if you haven't watched my introduction get to know me video, please do watch the video. I will link it down below. So my purpose of doing this video is really just to raise awareness on miscarriages, stillbirth, and infant loss, with really an emphasis on stillbirth because that's what I recently experienced. I'm deciding to do this because it's something that is really not talked about in the community out there. This is something that is hashed out, and really many women out there are going through the trauma on their own. This video might be a trigger to some, and it's really up to you whether you would want to continue watching it or you would want to lay it on the side. But really, it's just raising awareness and giving information out there that I did not have, that I only acquired after certain things happened to me, because some things are really just not talked about. So let's talk about them. So personally, I believe in the power of knowing and just being knowledgeable. As we do life on this earth, things are happening, people are going through different situations, and really the more we hash some of these topics, we're sending people into depression, we're sending people into being suicidal, we're sending people into having self-blame, all that stuff that comes with trauma. And even because society is not informed, we really don't know how to take it upon ourselves even just to personalize other people's pain. I'm trying to show love and try to make people feel accepted in that pain. We might actually even end up injuring them even more, because awareness in how to care for someone who has lost their child is really not there. It's really not talked about. People choose to keep quiet. Most people who have lost their children are quiet. But the fact is that the same way that I would lose, maybe say, my father, and I talk about my father is the same way that a person that has lost their child would want to talk about their child. But simply because the world has boxed that, has put that in a cage, this is something that I have recently become aware of because it happened to me. So I'm taking it upon myself to talk about these issues, and I really hope and pray that more women will come out and start to talk about this, open up on their journeys, open up on how they've coped, open up on how they've healed, and different things in relation to this. And if you have gone through any of the situations that I have listed, my heart goes out to you. I do feel your pain in any way that you can look at it. I do feel it. I pray that God brings healing in whatever way possible. So what I'm going to share is really from my personal research. I found myself in places where I really wanted answers, and truth be told, some situations like death have no total specific answer to them, because ultimately God is the author of our lives. He knows it all. He knows our life from beginning to end and what's going to happen tomorrow. But this is just to raise awareness, and hopefully that 1 or 2 or 3 lives can be saved out there, because the more we speak, we become more knowledgeable, self-aware, in hope that those around us and also our service providers can begin to become more aware and more particular when it comes to women and pregnancy. So a child loss under 20 weeks is what is considered a miscarriage. Beyond 20 weeks to 40 weeks is considered stillbirth, which is classified in 3 categories: early stillbirth, late stillbirth, and term stillbirth. So I would just like to raise awareness and list out some of the causes and some things that you would like to look out for. potentially they could be fixed or monitored, but I just want to put some knowledge out there that I personally didn't have, or it was really really basic. I don't know about other people out there, but I'm speaking for myself, and probably for someone who is like myself. The information that is mostly given is how the first 3 trimesters are very critical, and how you should take care of yourself, and being particular about different things in those first 3 months. Beyond that, everyone gets a certain level of peace, and we look forward to seeing and holding our babies. And every September, I lost my baby at 38 weeks, just days before his scheduled due date. And really, it was nothing that I was prepared for. It was nothing that I could have anticipated or expected. And really, nobody desires or expects the worst to happen. After everything happened to me, I found myself trying to get knowledge, trying to really just get understanding of what could have potentially happened. Of what could have potentially happened. I'll talk about that later in some other videos, but it's really trying to get closure and understanding. But you see, if I had a certain level of knowledge, I feel like it would have eased out the process somehow when it happened, because at least I could have been aware of certain things which I really was not aware of, simply because some of these things are not discussed, they are not talked about. Through my research, I really could not get a concrete and solid answer on why someone would suffer a stillbirth, but some of these are the causes, and I will share what caused the loss of our baby. So just to put it out there, I am not an expert at any of this. Please do consider getting more information from your healthcare provider, from your doctors, and or do your research. You can Google and just search around just to get information and just to be well informed about. So some of the causes could be pregnancy and labor complications, preterm labor, pregnancy that goes beyond 42 weeks, accidents and injuries during pregnancy, placenta problems. So the placenta is what supplies the baby with oxygen and all the nutrients needed. So if anything interferes with your placenta, or given any infections or anything going on with that could potentially lead to stillbirth, and also other complications such as placenta abruption. I really can't go in detail explaining some of these things, but as I list them down, you can note them down and just be informed. Birth defects caused by probably infections or genetics or different things in association. Umbilical cord accidents. This is when the umbilical cord either catches a knot or squeezes and stops oxygen, which could also lead to stillbirth. And maternal health conditions, which usually occur in probably the 3rd trimester, such as preeclampsia. I hope I got that right. Preeclampsia and high blood pressure. Those conditions if not critically monitored, could potentially lead to the death of the baby in the uterus. And like I said earlier on, ultimately God is all-knowing. So little that we can control while we're on this earth. And so that being said, I really just want to emphasize on this one thing. Personally, for me, I don't remember at what point exactly I stopped feeling the heartbeat of my baby. But when I look back now, I do remember a particular point when I felt unusual increased movements. From my thought and what I feel, I do feel that that was the moment when the knot could have tied. So my situation was an umbilical accident, which was a knot, yeah, and not that tied, the umbilical cord tied, and and obviously there was no circulation, and I had to think that he suffocated, yeah but um one thing that is also talked about is how we should look out for rather the decrease in movement, and that could be a potential trigger that something is wrong. And mostly and mostly when we look at increased movements, it's looked at as probably the baby is just really active baby, healthy baby. But increased movements is also a trigger. So if it's unusual, if it's nothing that you often feel, it's important to just be aware. It's important to just know your baby and just be aware of particular changes that could cause potential harm. So in this case, if something's wrong, you could probably check into your hospital and they could start to monitor the heart rate. If it's a term or full term pregnancy, and if there's anything that could potentially be going wrong, they could put you on a monitor. They'll monitor your child's heart rate, and probably could have saved a situation that could have potentially led to the loss of your child. So I also put emphasis for full-term pregnancies, just being aware of the movements of your kick counts, being aware of any changes that could possibly be going on. I really hope that this has been helpful. This is going to be probably a 4-part series, 5-part series. I'm definitely going to be sharing my stillbirth story in the next video. I'm going to be sharing life after death, grief, and the fact that I am a warrior. I am not there yet, but I am grateful to God for his grace. I am grateful to God for seeing me through the nights I cried day and night, for seeing me through the times I did not want to come out of bed, for seeing me through my depression, for seeing me through the period that I was angry with God, the period that I could hardly pray, the period that I could hardly say or utter a word, but all I did was cry. I'm grateful that he has brought me here, that he has brought me to this point. It still shocks me that this happened, and here and there I do receive triggers, but I'm grateful for my journey, and I'm grateful that I can be able to raise awareness and probably just help another woman out there. It's really a journey that's unexplainable, but there is nothing that God cannot take us out of, and I am just grateful and I'm also just grateful for a strong support system. I'm grateful for a circle that has really just really stood up to pray. To be honest, I stayed almost a month and a half, close to 2 months. I could hardly pray. I'm the type that worships when I'm in a situation. I could hardly do all that, but I had people around me raising up to pray for me, to pray with me. They were not even in here with me, but to be honest, I could feel within my heart a certain particular, I really don't know how to explain this, but God is our greatest comforter. So when people rise up and pray, God hears. And so my heart goes out to anyone that could be going through the situation that we have been dealing with. My prayers are with you, and I pray that God be your greatest comforter, and that you find your own specific antidote to your healing. For me, it's really been talking about him. Talking about Zayden has been part of my healing. It's been like that from the onset. I will definitely go in depth later on, but for today, really, I just wanted to raise awareness and put that out there. And also on this channel, I really want to keep it bright and share more other aspects of my life. So mostly for child loss, grief, and anything in relation with that. We recently opened a page for Zayden, which is called Zayden's Love Wings on Facebook. It's a newly opened page. Nothing has been shared yet, but I will be sharing my heart in relation to child loss and coping with that grief on that platform, mostly because I want to keep this as possible. It's been a process. I can't say I am fully healed, but I can actually say that I am in a much healthy place. I am happy within me, and I'm really just taking care of me. And that's one thing that is so important as well, is now I'm going into the next topic. I will catch you later. Thank you so much for watching this video till the end. If you have watched this video till the end, please do consider subscribing, and please do share, like, comment, and please feel welcome to join me on my journey and help me grow this community. I really want to grow my channel so that I can be able to reach more people, even through the conversations that we will have. So please do subscribe, like, comment, and share, and I'll catch you later. Much love and grace.